Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because I finally got my makeup loving hands on the Byredo Bibliophilia palette. Look, isn't she a beauty? Look inside. I could not be more excited to test out my very first Byredo palette. So if you're curious about this palette and you want to see how to create some different looks, we're going to have a lot of fun today. If you're a new viewer, welcome. I'm so glad that you found my channel. And if you're a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. I couldn't be happier to have you here. All right, let's get this party started. I'm so excited to be filming this today. It feels like it's been forever since I've been sitting in front of this camera. I've had some personal issues going on, and thank God things have calmed down. So I'm very happy to be back. I missed you guys, and thank you so much for your patience. I have so many fun reviews coming up. I'm going to try to get them out as quickly as possible, so I do appreciate your patience. And like I said, I missed you guys. So I'm very happy to be back behind the camera and to show you what I got. This is the Byredo Bibliophilia palette, and look how it came. This is like Dior level packaging. Can you see this? It's got bows on it. Let's open it. So this is the beautiful box that it came in. I was seriously very impressed when I opened this, like very impressed. So I did sneak a peek just because I wanted to make sure that it did not break. I know some people's palettes sometimes break during shipping, but I checked mine and it did not break. All right, so let's open this up. I know this is a small detail, but the ribbon is actually contained in the box. So the ribbon stays on there. You can reuse it. I think that's great. So I tried to get this when it was originally released, and then it sold out on Nordstrom's in like, I don't know, half an hour. That's what it seemed like. I went back to the site and it was already sold out. So then I got this from Byredo directly. And I'm so excited to finally be able to try it. Okay. So open it like this and see the beautiful packaging inside. Okay. Here we go. And there it is. Now this did come in plastic wrap. I did remove it just to check it to make sure that it wasn't damaged. The Byredo Bibliophilia palette. Now this is made in Italy and came in a pretty penny. It was not cheap. I'll show you the outside of the palette on kind of like B-roll footage just because it's picking up the lights that I have on right now. So I'll show you that packaging. I'll tell you a little bit about the product. So this is Bibliophilia, a richly pigmented eyeshadow palette to echo the mood and atmosphere of a library. Here, ideas are awakened, opening doors to exploration, to solace, to beauty, and to surprise. Each of the 18 shades deliver rich color payoff in a single stroke while easily blending and layering to create your own narrative. So according to Byredo, the shadows are soft, creamy, and they have a gliding texture. They are highly buildable and blendable. They last up to 12 hours. They are vibrant and highly pigmented colors and a lightweight texture. So I've never owned a Byredo palette, so I'm so excited. And here she is. Isn't she pretty? These red shades are just calling my name. As you can see, I coordinated my outfit to match, try to match. But I'm really excited to get into this. So they just look so nice in the pan, like you don't even want to bother them, but here we are to bother you. Okay, so I'm going to try to swatch these. If you saw my recent Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette review video, you would know I have very short arms. So the luxurious girls on YouTube that you see that they can fit 3 eyeshadow palettes on one arm, it's not me. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to try to do shorter strokes and put it on one arm, but I can't make any guarantees, but me and my short hands will try. This is a nice texture. Wow, these are so creamy. Very impressed. Okay, I did it. So you know like when a scientist is in the lab and they discover like the cure to the common cold or something really important? This is what this moment feels like. I have accomplished so much in this moment because I got the entire palette on my arm. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the Byredo palette. This is Bibliophilia. Just look at this color range. And I didn't tape myself swatching it because A, it would have taken a long time, and B, I didn't want to fail in front of YouTube in case I couldn't get the entire palette on my arm. But if I had filmed it, you would have heard me saying, ooh, ah, to almost every shade because almost every shade is buttery and creamy and just delightful. So I'm so excited to try this. As you can see, fingerprints in there, but that's okay. These are meant to be used. So let's use it. Now my policy, if you want to call it a policy, has been in eyeshadow reviews to not put a primer on my eyelids just so that you can see the eyeshadow as they are in their natural habitat. But I prefer an eyeshadow primer, and I think it does help with any eyeshadow, and it is something that I would use anytime that I'm applying eyeshadow. So I am going to use it just because I want to even out any darkness here. I'm going to be using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in the shade Eden. This is the eyeshadow primer potion in the shade Eden. So a little bit on there just to even everything out. I couldn't believe I actually got this palette because I just had given up hope that it would come back in stock, and then it was at Suffrages, but it was so expensive to get it shipped to the United States, like crazy expensive. Okay, so just going in with this light shade here, kind of like a base. Very pretty. And now I'm going to go in with this red shade right here. So just continuing to build up that red shade. I may just use my finger because on a shimmer shade like this, I think your finger is usually always best, but let's see. Ooh, pretty. I like this. Going on very creamy. Build it up a little bit, go crazy, right? Let's go crazy with it. Ooh. So that's the very bold red shade there. Just buff it out my finger. These are extremely pigmented, so you have to be careful. I use this dark red shade to do a winged eyeliner effect. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, but what do we think of that? Just to balance out the look, I'm going into this shade right here and just popping that into the outer corner and the crease a little bit, just to make it a little bit more cohesive. Hoping that this doesn't make me look sick. I'm going to go back in with the deep red shade right here. It's not the deepest, but I'm going to just put a little bit on the bottom just to balance it out a little bit. And there we go. I poked myself in the eye for the first time in the video. Nice job, Courtney. If you're new to my channel, you will come to find that it usually always happens in a video at some point. Taking my concealer brush and just cleaning it up a little bit because I just want a hint of the red on the bottom, but not too much. And just taking this like cream colored shade right here, I'm just going to pop that into the inner corner for a little brightness. And then I'm going to go under the brow bone just to clean that up a little bit. And then kind of like sweep it underneath. Just taking a clean brush and kind of just buffing everything out to make it more seamless. But what do we think? Okay, so I'm going to lighten this up a little bit, and I'm going in with this shade right here. And I'm going to go under the brow bone just to eliminate some of that contrast because the white that I put was a little too white. And a little bit here. Now, is this an eyeshadow look that I would wear every day? No. This would be a special occasion or like a Christmas party or just a night out where you have like maybe a black dress and you want like a very bold eye, or a red dress and you can kind of match it a little bit, but you don't want to be too matchy-matchy. So maybe like a nice black dress with like a dramatic eye. And again, this wouldn't be something I would wear necessarily to the office, but it is a beautiful color. It's gorgeous. And it just went on so creamy. I just want to clean up the winged eyeliner. I want to put a little bit more just to make it more cohesive. Okay, so I went in, as you can see, a little bit more dramatic with the winged eyeliner. And you have to picture this with mascara. That would make a difference as far as balancing out the look. I'm just popping on a little bit of this very bold red shade just to finish off the look with my finger, because that's the best way to apply these shimmer shadows. But what do we think? I think it's beautiful. Again, this is not a look that I put on Monday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work, but for a night out or a Christmas party or something, It's pretty. What do you think? I'm super impressed with this formula. And I feel like a red eyeshadow is hard to do correctly, and it's beautiful. All right, so on the other side, we're going to do a different look. Let's see. What shall we do? Okay, so I'm going to go in with this again as my base shade, just to brighten up the eye area. And I'm going to go in with this shade right here. Very pigmented, my goodness. Okay, I'm going to lightly, very lightly, just work that into the eye. What a beautiful shade that is. It's kind of like an orangey red, maybe like a brick red, but it is pulling a little orange in this lighting. And these are extremely pigmented. Okay, I'm going to take a darker brown shade and just lightly buff that into the crease. Like that. And then I'm probably going to do something a little crazy. I'm going to go in to this gold shade right here and pop it on the middle. Oh, that's pretty. A little bit more. And again, using my fingers so that you get the full level of pigment with the shimmer shadow. Okay. What's great is there's no fallout. And just taking a clean brush and kind of just diffusing it and buffing it out a little bit. I'm going to go in with the white shade and pop that in there. And then go into this cream shade right here. So I'm actually going to go into this shimmer shade right here and pop that into the inner corner. And again, this is not a look I'd wear to the office first thing on a Monday morning, but we're just going big here. Ooh. So that went a little bit further into the middle of the eye than I wanted it to. So I'm just going back in with that gold shimmer shade. This one right here. And I'm just popping that back onto the middle of the eye. And then I'm going to take my Nikki LaRose BK Beauty N11 brush again. And I'm going to create a winged eye effect with this brown shade right here. Second time I poked myself in the eye. Okay. And then just going back in with this brown shade for underneath the eye. Oh, that's a pretty shade for the eyeliner. Oh, I like that. And I'm going to take this kind of base shade again and just put it under the brow just to pull the look together. Brighten that up. I'm also going to pop it in over here just to pull that all together. See? It just cleaned it up a little bit. Okay, so these are the two completed eye looks. Let's see what we think. I have to say, I had a lot of expectations for this palette, and so far it's either meeting them or exceeding them. I love this formula. I'm very, very impressed. They're just so creamy, so easy to use. You can create these beautiful bold looks, but they're not too much. Like even under further consideration, I think you could wear these for every day under the right circumstances. I'm not saying when you have a big meeting or, you know, anything important like that, but, you know, a fun day in the office and you just want to go a little crazy, these are doable for that. But love these, and now I'm going to remove these and put on more everyday looks. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit more subdued looks, not so sparkly. I mean, a little sparkle. Always have to have a little sparkle, but a little bit more subdued to kind of show you the versatility of this palette. Okay, so we're going to go into this kind of taupe shade. I'm going to put that on the lid. Now, I would note that I've heard that this palette is very fragile, this particular formula from Byredo, so it's best not to take this on travel and just be careful when handling it, because if you drop it, there's a very good chance that, you know, it won't survive too well. So like I said earlier in this video, I can't wait to film much more content for you guys. I have so many things that I have to catch up on just because of family situations, things like that I had to deal with. I haven't been able to keep up with it as much as I wanted to. I'm kind of mixing these two shades right here as a base. But I just got the Nikki LaRose brushes from BK Beauty, Volume 2. I have eyeshadow palettes from Dolce & Gabbana. I have the underpainting from Mary Phillips. So I have a lot of things and much more on the way. So stay tuned because I do have a lot coming up. The NARS Holiday Collection. So honestly, that's a beautiful combination just by itself. Add a little mascara to that, a little eyeliner, and that's really pretty. But of course, we'll do more with it. So I'm going to go into this dark shade right here and kind of make like a smoky eye. Oh, it's pretty. I just love how versatile this palette is. I feel like you can create so many different looks. Now I am getting some fallout here. I'm going to try to use a different brush and we'll clean that up. So I'm just taking what's left on my concealer brush, seeing if that does the job. I think it does. So just building this up a little bit more in the outer crease. Really beautiful smoky eye. Okay, and I'm just going to take this silver shadow right here with my finger, kind of pop it onto the middle. You see how much more pigment you're getting with that? So really just packing it on there and just so creamy. And I'm going to take the white shade and pop it in the inner corner. Oh, I like this. Isn't that pretty? I love this. Okay, so that's a beautiful smoky eye right there. And I just want to build up the darker color a little bit more in the outer corner. Okay, just using this also for the bottom lash. Oh, that's pretty. This is very hard to do on camera without poking yourself in the eye. Okay. Just taking this white shade again and just popping it under the brow. Just highlight that a little bit. And this will look nice also with mascara. Even just spreading that white shade a little bit more into the eye to brighten it up a little bit more. Okay, so that is the smoky eye. I'm going to pop on mascara at the end, but I think this is beautiful. I'm really so blown away by this formula. Now I understand what everybody's talking about. But just so versatile, so many different looks you can do with this. Just the formula is so creamy. And if you struggle with creating a smoky eye, I feel like this palette would be really easy to use. It's very user-friendly. It's a little bit pigmented, so you have to be careful. I would say slowly build up the color. I took a little bit more time with this eyeshadow palette just because I didn't want to put too much pigment on right away. You kind of have to slowly build it because it is not an eyeshadow that you can kind of just dust off without going back in with a little bit of product. If you do get some fallout, just take a little concealer, whatever's left on your brush or your foundation, just clean it up. But some powders are like so finely milled or so lightweight that you can kind of just dust it off. That's not this palette. This is very creamy. I don't want to say it's thick, but it packs a punch. So be careful, build in small layers, and you can achieve the level of pigment that you want. But I think this is beautiful. So now we're going to do the other eye a little bit different, and then we'll throw on some mascara, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so we're going to go into one of these gold shades. Let's see. I think I want to go into this one first. And we're going to use that as a base. Ooh. I say ooh like I've never seen a beautiful eyeshadow before. But I love girly sparkly things. That's why I do makeup content here on YouTube. And let me know in the comments down below which holiday releases you're excited about. We have a lot of exciting things coming down the pipe. Too many things, actually. It's overwhelming. And it's so early, right? September. Then we have Sephora sale coming up soon. So I didn't realize how pigmented this is with the sparkle shade. So I'm just going to take my concealer brush, just clean that up. See? Very easy. I'm just going in with this shade right here because we haven't used that one, and I kind of want to tone down the sparkle just a little bit. Okay, that's good. And I think like Byredo said, a lot of these are just one and done shades. You can just swipe it on and you're good to go. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go into this shade right here and go into the outer corner and the crease. Okay. It's a nice transition shade. That you could leave by itself and it would be totally fine. I want to do something a little bit interesting. I want to use this gold shimmer shade for an eyeliner. I know, sounds a little crazy, but bear with me. Let's taking this along the lower part of the lash line and poke myself in the eye, number 3. Okay. So just very lightly dusting that on the bottom there, you see? That's still showing through. I gotta fix that. Okay, so I'm gonna do a hint of it on the top. Okay, number 4. That's a record. Okay. So what I like about this effect is it's just creating a hint of the shimmer along the lash line there. So if you didn't want to do like a big, bold, sparkly look, you can still incorporate the shimmer shade without going a little crazy. Off camera, I threw on a little bit of eyeliner and mascara. I put on the Dior Show liquid liner in the brown shade, satin brown, and some mascara. But what do we think? So these are the more neutral, everyday kind of looks. The other 2 looks I created were a little bit more bold and, you know, party time. I cannot get over how versatile this palette is. There's so many options. So I think this is just a great color story to have in your collection. These neutral shades, they're just something that you need for every day or to pair with other eyeshadow formulas. And the texture is just so creamy and just so easy to use. I can't see this being an issue with any other eyeshadow formula. I'm really in love with this formula and I'm so excited that I got it because I didn't think I was going to be able to get it. So if this is still available on the Byredo site or any other retailer, I would pick it up. I think it's worth the high price tag because like I said, it's so versatile. You can do so many fun looks with it. The reds are really fun. It's hard to do a red shadow correctly, and this formula is done correctly. This palette really exceeded my expectations, and I'm so beyond thrilled to add it to my collection and include it in more future videos and do other looks with it and experiment. I'm just really happy with the formula, and the look of it is beautiful. Just very high quality. I've never tried Byredo before, so I'm so happy to have a piece in my collection and to be able to compare this to other Byredo palettes in the future. So very happy that I got to try this. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Are you planning on picking this up? Is this interesting to you? Do you like this color story? Do you have other similar Byredo palettes that you like? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's get a conversation going. I love to hear your thoughts and your feedback. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions about the palette, and I appreciate your time. Please leave me a comment, like this video, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I have a lot more fun reviews and content coming your way. I'm going to work as hard as I can to catch up and get you all these reviews out as soon as possible. And at the time of filming this video, my giveaway for the Hourglass Swan Holiday Palette is still ongoing. You have until September 29th, so please make sure you enter. I will leave all the details down in the description box below. But the long story short is you have to subscribe to me here on YouTube, follow me over on Instagram if you are on Instagram, and please leave me a comment and let me know where you're tuning in from and a fun fact about you. I want to get to know my viewers more, and I think this is just a fun way to do that. So please let me know if you have any questions. Leave all that information down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.